Hansel and Gretel by the brothers Grimm. Once upon a time there lived a very poor woodcutter. He had two children named Hansel and Gretel. Their mother died when they were very small. His second wife hated the two lovely children. She always told them that there wasn't any food for them in the house. One day, she ordered her husband to take the children to the forest and leave them there. Hansel overheard his stepmother and filled his pockets with white pebbles. The next day, the woodcutter took his children deep into the forest. On the way there, Hansel secretly dropped his white pebbles one by one on the ground, leaving a clear trail. Finally, in the middle of the forest, their father left them. Two children waited in the hope that their father would return and take them back, but he didn't. Hansel wasn't frightened because he knew how to find his way home. The white pebbles gleamed in the moonlight. The children found their way home very quickly. The next morning, the stepmother was in a terrible rage. The wicked woman locked them in the bedroom and gave them only a piece of stale, hard bread to eat. Later, the woodcutter took the children back to the forest again. Clever Hansel didn't eat his bread, but instead used the bread to drop crumbs in the forest to mark the way. Again, the woodcutter left his children in the forest. Gretel began to cry, but Hansel told her not to worry because he had a plan. Unfortunately, this time Hansel's plan failed because hungry birds had eaten all the bread crumbs. For a long time they walked in the forest and suddenly found a strange cottage made of delicious sweets. They decided to try some of the sweets because they were very hungry. They didn't know that this cottage belonged to an old witch. It was a trap for catching little children. Suddenly, the wicked witch appeared from nowhere. She grabbed Hansel and threw him into the cage. She ordered Gretel to clean her house. Her plan was to feed Hansel and make him fat. Every day she checked his fingers to see if he was fatter. Luckily for the children, the witch had very poor eyesight. Instead of his finger, Hansel showed her a chicken bone. But one day the witch was tired of waiting. She wanted a tasty roast boiled for her dinner. She ordered Gretel to check if the oven was hot enough. Gretel pretended that she couldn't. The witch was furious, and when she opened the oven herself, Gretel quickly pushed her inside. That was the end of the wicked witch. Gretel released her brother Hansel, and they found a lot of coins in the cottage, so they filled a basket with them. They also took some food and left this terrible cottage. On the way home, they met their father. He felt very guilty and had looked for his children every day. He was so happy to see his kids that he gave them a big hug. Then he told them that their stepmother was dead. Afterwards, they went home to their nice house and lived happily ever after.